Do you think using Studio Library to store poses is useful for animation or a gimmick? No, it's very useful. Very, very, very useful. If you're working in an animation studio, especially a larger studio with lots of people, you're going to be using a library all the time. It's going to be kind of the way that you bring in walk cycles, poses. It's the way you keep characters on model, even. So, for example, if I'm working on a shot and there's 20 other people also working on that shot, and I'm having trouble posing out the eyes, maybe I'm just like, I'm trying to pose out the eyes, but every time the character just doesn't feel right. Maybe I'm trying to pose out Moana in Disney's Moana. Like, I can't get that eye shape right. It doesn't feel like her. I can open up a Studio Library and just bring in some eye poses as a starting point. You almost never bring it in as like, oh, just click on the eye, boop, done, haha, I don't have to do anything. No, you're always going to be tweaking for your specific shot, but you're going to bring that in, and now I don't have to worry about starting from scratch. And you can do that for the mouth, for just the stance. How does she stand? How does she kind of, if she's relaxed, how does she pose herself compared to Maui, compared to Heihei, and all of those characters? You don't have to use it, but it's there to give you a start. And it's one of the things with animation, like when you're working at a studio, is animators at a studio work very quickly. The time frame that you have to work is very short. And as a student, it can seem like, man, how am I ever going to be so fast? Well, there's a few things to keep in mind. One, as an animator working on your own demo reel, you're coming up with every idea yourself. You're basically the writer, the storyboard artist, the layout artist, everything. You have to create every idea yourself. You have to model and modify the rig. All of that stuff is on your plate. When you're in a studio, they will give you the story. They will give you the storyboard. They will give you the layout. You animate. They will give you the script. They will find you the voice line. You're not when you're working on your own demo reel, you have to find every voice line that you're going to animate to. Oh, they just give that to you. So all you have to do is focus on the animation. With the animation, once again, when you're working on your own shot, you have to come up with every character choice. How do they stand? How do they sit? What do their eyes do? What's their default expression? At a studio, usually that's going to be kind of created a little bit for you. It doesn't mean that you're not creating unique expressions in your shot, but you have somewhere to start from to build off of, which speeds up the process typically. So yes, you will use a studio library of some sort, and I recommend using, if you have Maya, use Studio Library. Let me actually share my screen here. So for anyone who doesn't know, Studio Library is a free plugin in Maya. I think I have the link here. If not, you can just do a search for Studio Library. And with this, you can just save poses. So I've got a few custom poses that I saved here for the Aya rig. You can save animations. So for example, I have a few Zelda walk cycles right here that I can just pull up at any time. You can get expressions, phonemes, all of these cool things that you can throw in. And this is free. Now, if you're just downloading it, you're going to have to create all of these yourself. If you have if you're, for example, an animation mentor, you're going to be given all of these files here. But it's a good thing to have. And when I'm working on my own projects, if I know I'm working on a longer project that's going to kind of reuse certain elements, so maybe a character is going to smile, and then, oh, they might lose their smile, something will happen, and at the end they kind of smile again, and I want a little bit of that similar smile, well, I'll just save the smile. I'll just save that pose, and then I can reuse it later. And still tweak it, but I can just quickly hit a button, boop, it's there. Start from there. And Gaming Car, hello! So hopefully that answers your question. Studio Library is a useful plugin. I recommend, if you have Maya, download the plugin. It's not going to hurt. It's actually good to have.